Hello everyone, welcome back to my SAT Math classroom. Today's topic is statistics. I want to explain three things about statistics in SAT. The first one is mean, median, mode, and range. I'll give you two examples. The first one is normal data is given, but second example, table or sometimes histogram, sometimes bar graph are going to be given. Which means scores and number and frequencies given together. I'm going to explain how to find mean, median, mode, and range. Let's go. Example 1, 8 numbers are given. 7, 7, 7, 9, 11, 12, 12, 13. So how to find the mean? Mean is average, right? So just add all numbers and then divide by number of numbers. So 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 12, 12, 13. Add all these, how many numbers? 8 numbers. That's why I divide by 8. So I already found it for you. Average is what? 9.75. The median is number in the middle. If 8 numbers of data is given like this, in the other words, just even number of data is given, there are 2 middle numbers. If all the number of data is given, that data has only 1 middle number. So that number is a median. But like this case, 8 numbers are given, even numbers of numbers are given, right? So there are 2 middle numbers. What are 2 middle numbers? 7 and 7, 7 and 13, 7 and 12, 7 and 12 is all gone. So what are 2 middle numbers? In 9 and 11. So in this case, just to find the middle of those 2 middle numbers. How? Add those 2 middle numbers and divide by 2, which is 10. So in this case, median is what? 10. Mode is most frequent numbers. Okay, 7 is mode, right? Because there are 3 sevens, 1, 2, 3 sevens, and there are 2 12s. But most frequent number is 7 in this data. So mode is what? 7. So in this case, median is biggest, and then mode is smallest. So you can say this mode the less than mean, the median less than median. Median is largest. Then how can we find the range? Range in the data is the biggest number minus smallest number. Okay, greatest number 13 minus smallest number 7. So 5 is the range in this data. I quickly simply explained how to find mean, median, mode, and range. But sometimes you're gonna find a table problem where some bar graph or histogram is given with some numbers and frequencies, and then we have to find the median, mode, mean, and range again. So mean means average, right? So some students just add these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores only. You must not do that because 6 has 7 students, right? 7 students got score 6. So in that data, there are 7 6. Okay? So 10 people got score 7, and then 8 people got score 8, something like that. So to add all those numbers, you just multiply each number. Score times frequency. 6 times 7. And then 7 times 10. 8 times 8. 9 times 4. 10 times 1. And then add all those products and divide by total number of frequencies. In this case, 30 people, right? So I already found the average. There was 7.4. You need to use your calculator. Number 2, in this case, in this kind of situation, what is mode? Mode is easy. What the most frequent numbers? Mode is easy. So which score has largest frequency? 10. Which number? 7 has frequency of 10. So 7 is mode. Number 3, how can you find the median? I told you median is number in the middle, and then if even number of data is given, there are 2 middle numbers. So total number of students is 30 in this table. That means 15th and then 16th number, those two numbers should be in the middle. So where is 15th and 16th numbers? Just keep adding frequencies, okay? The fourth square 6 had 7 students, and then 10 students have score of 7. So 7 plus 10 is 17. So 15th and 16th student score is 7. That makes sense. The fourth 7 students got 6. From 8th student to 17th student got 7. So 15th, 16th, those two numbers should be 7. So 7 and 7's middle number is 7, right? So median is 7. In this case, mode is equal to median. And mean is biggest, right? How can you find the range? Range biggest number minus smallest number. Biggest score is what? 10. Minus smallest score is 6. So range is 4. Okay, what is the next one you have to know? That is standard deviation. SAT never asks you find the standard deviation. It asks you just the concept of standard deviation. Just to ask a student how much students understand about standard deviation. Standard deviation represents how much the data spread out. If data more spread out, that data has bigger standard deviation. More spread out data has what? Bigger standard deviation. Less spread out data has means smaller standard deviation. I'll give you a very simple example. There are two data sets. The first one is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The second data says 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. If we find average of each data set, average is 7. Mean of first data is 7. Mean of second data is 7. They have same mean. They have same average. But they have different standard deviation. Which data more spread out? If that data is data set A, data set B, okay, data B has more spread out. From the center, from the mean, it is just 1 less than, 5 is 2 less than, 8 is 1 more than, and 9 is 1 more than average. But what about set B? Is it 2 less than, and 4 less than, 2 more than, and 2 more than? Okay? The standard deviation of B, if we compare standard deviation of A, which is standard deviation should be bigger. Data set B, standard deviation should be bigger than standard deviation of A because data B has more spread out. Okay, you have to understand just the meaning of standard deviation. Next, SAT asks you as well a lot of problem about probability, right? Probability of some event. So how can you find the basically standard probability of event A? We just say P of A, which means probability of event A, that is equal to the number of A, how many possible cases for event A to be happened, right? Number of event A over total possible number. That's a probability. Probability is always, any kind of probability always between 0 and 1. 0 probability is what? It is impossible to be happened. 1 probability means it's 100% always guaranteed to be happened. All probability should be between 0 and 1 inclusive. But another one, yes, the very important thing is just not probability. It is a conditional probability. We use this notation for that. It's important part. P, A, bar, B. What is a probability event A happened in B? Out of B, that means what? Suppose B is already happened. In that situation, what is a probability event A can be happened? So just find P A intersection B over P over B. In the other words, the number of B over number of A and B together. Just find how many cases, possible cases are there, event A and event B happen together, the intersection. How many numbers in the intersection over the number of B. That is kind of, we call this conditional probability. So I call this probability problem given that probability problem sometimes. So given that means what? A is happened, given that B is happened. That makes sense? So P, that means what? Find the P of A bar B. Just find the probability event A happened, given that event B is already happened. Remember, you have to find what? Number of A intersection B over number of B. That's the formula. Okay, from now I'm going to solve 9 SAT problems. The x-axis is number of C's, and then y-axis is number of apples. So what does it mean? 2 apples actually has 3 C's. 4 apples have number of 5 C's. Something like this, right? Based on the histogram above, of the following, which of the closest average number of C's? It is numbers, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is frequencies. So I told you, if frequencies and number are given together, how can we find the averages? Just number times frequency, right? 3 times 2. 2 apples have 3 C's. Totally 6 C's, right? Plus nothing on 4. And then 5 C's. How many apples? 4 apples. So 5 times 4. And then 6 times 1. Then 7 times 2. And then 9 times 3. That divided by how many apples? You don't have to count it. It's already given, right? Number of C's in each of 12 apples. So 12. 6 plus 20 plus 6 plus 14 plus 27 divided by 12 equals 73 divided by 12 is equal to 6.08. Which one is closest average number? C is the answer. The table above lists the length to the nearest inch of a random sample of 21 brown bullhead fish. How many? 21 brown bullhead fish. Outlier, a measurement of 24. That means 24 it doesn't count, right? It's kind of an error. Think about 8 inches to 16 inches, but 24 is kind of too long, right? That is error. That doesn't count, maybe. So of the mean, median, range of the value listed, which will change the most if 24-inch measurement is removed from the data. Basically, mode is never changing, so there is no mode here, right? The median can be changed somehow, but it's not much, right? Because the middle number can be changed 12 to 13 or 12 to 11. I didn't count. I don't have to count it. But even though they changed, just 0 point something less than 1. What about mean? Mean can be definitely changed, right? Mean can be smaller, right? Very big numbers removed. But how much? How much is reduced? It's not much, right? Because average, suppose average is 12. Suppose that. And then 24, that difference is 12, but divided by 21 fishes, right? It's kind of less than 1, I think. Definitely less than 1. But what about range? Range is biggest number minus smallest number. The range of that data 24 minus 8, which is 16. But if we remove the 24, second largest number 16. 16 minus 8 will be 8. How much different? That is negative 8, right? So it's much different. So what is the answer? Range is supposed to be answer. Number 2, the table above shows the distribution of age and gender for 25 people who entered a contest. If the contest winner will be selected at random, what is the probability that the winner will be either a female under 40 or male over 40 or male 40 or older. So how many people female under 40? 8 people, right? How many people are there male and then age 40 or older? 2 people. So 8 people or 2 people, or in statistics, or in probability, should be add those two numbers. And is multiplication. Or means adding, okay? Remember, or adding and multiplying. Out of total number 25, 10 over 25 is the probability. B is the answer. Number 27, the mean score of 8 players in the basketball game was 14.5 points. Mean average score of 8 players is 14.5. The highest individual score is removed. And then the other 7 players, right? Remaining 7 players, average is 12. In SAT, most of average problem actually is not average problem. I call them sum problem. Why? We use sum instead of average. How can you find average? Mean is average, right? Mean is sum divided by the number of data. That is average, right? So how can you find the sum of all data? That means mean, average, right? Times number of data. To solve this problem, I'm going to use sum formula instead of average formula, right? What is sum of 8 players points? Because average of 8 players is 14.5 points, sum of 8 players is 14.5 times 8. After highest individual score is removed, the other 7 players sum is their average times 7. 12 times 7. So what is 14.5 times 8? It is 116. And then what is 12 times 7? It is 84. So what is highest score? Highest score of individual score. That is difference of these two sums, right? Because 160 means all 8 players scores, and S7, 84 means what? 7 players except highest score. So that difference, 116 minus 84 is 32. This is the highest score. So answer is C. The table above shows the distribution of ages of 20 students. How many students? 20 students enrolled in a college class. Which of the following gives the correct order of mean, median, and mode? So we have to find all these 3 values, mean, median, and mode. And then there are frequencies, number and frequency together, right? So multiply these two. So 18 plus 18 times 6, 19 times 5, 20 times 4, 21 times 2, 22 times 1 equals 23 times 1 equals. So what is this? 108. What is this? 95. 20 times 4, 80. 21 times 2, 42. And 22, 23. So add all these numbers. 108 plus 95 plus 80 plus 42 plus 22 plus 23 equals 370. 370, and then that divided by how many students? 20 students. That is equal to 18.5. This is average. Mean is 18.5. What is the median? How many numbers totally? 20 numbers, right? 20 students. So 10th and 11th, those 2 numbers is median age. So where is 10 and 11? 6 people is 18 years old. 5 people is 19 years old. So it's already some of these to 11, right? The 10th and 11th, okay, age is 19. So median is what? 19. This is mean, 18.5. Median is 19. What is mode? Most frequent. So 6 is most frequent number, right? Frequency. So 18. 18 is mode. Median is biggest, and mode is smallest. Mean is in the middle. So B is answer. To determine the mean number of children per household in a community, okay, Tabitha surveyed 20 families. How many families? 20 families at a playground. Where? At a playground. It's a random sampling problem. Sometimes the SAT asks you which survey is biased and or which survey is right, which survey is wrong. Okay, so most frequent questions about the place surveyed. Okay, so some surveys biased because they got the survey in the wrong place or specific place, not to represent the whole population group. Anyway, 20 families at a playground. For 20 families surveyed, the mean number of children per household 2.4, which with the following statement must be true. The sampling method is flawed. Okay, may produce the biased estimate of the mean number of children. Okay, why? That's right. Sometimes you have to know the reason, not because of sample size, not because of sample size, but because they choose their playground. So who use playground? Most of the children and their parents use playground, right? That means what? Their parents definitely a higher chance to have more children. That's why it's biased, because that surveyed at the playground. Okay, so answer is C. Number 34. Based on the graph above, is in how many of games played did? How many of games played did? The soccer team scores goal equal to median number of goals for the 29, it's total 29 games. So find the median number of goals, right? So how many games? 29 games is odd number. It is not even number of data. So it has only one middle number. 29 divided by 2 is 14.5. That means 15th number, right? Number is kind of median number. All right, eight games, 9 games. Some of these things already 17 games. 15th games is belong to this. So how many goals? 2. So 2 goals, right? How many games? In the 9 game they made 2 goals. So answer is 9 games. It asks you how many games actually played. The soccer team scored goal equal to median number of goals. Median number of goals is 2. So in 9 games they made 2 goals. So answer is 9. Next problem. Number 10. A researcher surveyed a random sample of a student from, usually we use random sampling for the survey, right? Large university about how often they see movies. The researcher estimated 23% of students in the population saw movie at least once per month. 23% of students at least once per month. The margin of error is 4%. You have to understand what is margin of error, right? If it's 23%, but the margin of error is 4%, that means 23% plus minus 4%. So 19% to 27%. 19% to 27%. Okay? That doesn't mean 100% surely 19% to 27% of a whole population, whole students in the large university actually watching movie at least once. It doesn't mean that. But it looks like that. It looks like that, not 100% sure. So C and D says 19% and 17%, 27%, between 19 to 27%, and C and D. But C says what? Sure, it cannot be sure, right? So it's a plausible that the percent of students who see the movie at least once per month is between 19% and 20%. D is the answer. Because it's sampling represent the whole group, but it is not sure. Number 21. The data in the table above were produced by a sleep researchers studying the number of dreams people recall when asked to record their dreams for 1 week. Then group X consists 100 people who observed early bedtime. Group Y consists of 100 people who observed late bedtime. If a person is chosen at random from those who record at least one dream, then it asks you, what is the probability that person belongs to group Y? It is given that problem. It's a conditional probability problem. Because if it's supposed the chosen person is at least one dream, so not total, okay, just at least one dream, 1 to 4 and 5 or more, only this group. Some of these two numbers is total. That is a total. Out of them, how many people belong to group Y? That's the question. So what is sum of these two? 125 plus 39. How many people is group Y? Group Y is 11 plus 68. So 79 over 164. We call this conditional probability, right? So answer is C. Okay, I'm done. So I explained the statistics today, mean, median, mode, range. Everyone understand. And then I explained how to find them with tables. When your frequency is given, you multiply the scores and the frequency and add all of them divided by total number. That's average, right? And I explained how to find mode and median, range in table 2. You have to understand concept of a standard deviation. Standard deviation represents how much data spread out. Then probability of event A is equal to number of event A divided by total number. But sometimes I ask you conditional probability. I call that problem given that probability problem. To find that number of A out of B. That means B is already happened, and then what is the probability of event A? Okay? To find out how many people is A and B together, the intersection of A and B, out of B. Okay, it's all about statistics in SAT. Thank you. Bye-bye.